We back. It's the Oscar Show, boxing around the ring. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into it. So we got a major mega fight on our hands tomorrow night. Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. Undisputed versus undisputed. September 30th. Who you got? And why do you have who you got? I'm picking Jermell Charlo. I'm picking Jermell Charlo to pull out the victory based off of his skill and ability versus Canelo Alvarez's skill and ability. So don't try to come at me with that race stuff. This is pertaining to skill and ability of one man versus another man's skill and ability. That's it. That's all. I got Jermell Charlo pulling out a 12-round decision victory over Canelo Alvarez with the slight chance of being able to stop Canelo Alvarez. Yes, I said it. I said it. He can stop him. If he catches him with the right punch or the right combination, because he will be faster than Canelo Alvarez, I see the ref stepping in, stopping the fight because Canelo can no longer defend himself. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like Jermell Charlo is not in danger, because he's definitely in danger every second of that fight. Every second. He's suspect, because there's one major factor in this fight. And it's a big factor. Power. 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 Look at Deontay Wilder. Some of those opponents he faced probably had the better skill set. But Deontay Wilder's power knocked all that out the window. Wiped all that to the floor. It's over with. And that's the same reality with Canelo Alvarez. Everybody that stepped up, he knocked him out. Viciously. Knocked him out viciously. So if Jermell Charlo got any plans on playing any games, trying to go toe-to-toe, because you're already in danger every second of that fight. If you got any plans on going toe-to-toe or playing any games with Canelo Alvarez, you're going to sleep, dog. You're going to sleep. Have your team bring a nice comfy pillow and a nice comfy blanket, because you're going to need it. Because we don't know how long you're going to take a nap for, but you're definitely taking one. You're definitely taking a nap. And hopefully you wake up when everybody make it home and safe, you know you're all right. That's just the reality. That's just the reality. So don't go in there playing games. Don't let your ego affect your mentality, and let your mentality affect reality. Because the reality is, the man is going to knock you out if you play games with him. That's the reality. Now, let's switch topics for a second here. A lot of people have been hitting me up about the rumor circulating around Errol Spence training for his fight against Terrence Crawford. And that rumor is that Errol Spence suffered a rib injury during sparring for his training against Terrence Crawford 5 to 6 weeks before the fight. Now, if that's true, then he definitely wasn't 100% for that fight. And for, the people who say they knew that Errol Spence was injured before the fight, yet you are against a rematch, you totally contradict yourself. Because how can you claim that you don't want to see a rematch based off the fact of how dominant Terrence Crawford was when he, fought Errol Spence, how the performance, you want to say no rematch because of that. Then at the same time you knew Errol Spence was injured. Now that don't make no sense. That's total contradiction, and you just chopped both your legs off, because obviously that means Errol Spence wasn't 100% and a rematch is warranted. Period. Now, for those who knew that he was injured, yet you say you don't want a rematch, how can you say that? You just chopped off both your legs. You had a leg to stand on when you said this was a dominant performance by Terrence Crawford and we don't want to see Errol get hurt. Now, how can you say that when you knew he was already injured before the fight? Something is off here. Look at this story. This don't make sense. This story don't make sense. So I don't know how true it is, if Errol was really injured. But if the rumor is true and he did suffer a rib injury 5 to 6 weeks before the fight, and you knew it, yet you were against the rematch, what are we talking about? What's going on here? I never get it. I don't understand you guys sometimes, but it is what it is. That's my opinion on the matter. I've always felt he deserves a rematch, and this just makes it even more so. So that's my opinion on those rumors that's going around as far as if a rematch is warranted, and around the injury that Errol suffered during his training for Terrence Crawford. Now let's circle back to Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, because obviously if Jermell Charlo pulls out the victory, he will have to fight him again. And that's okay. You got to fight him twice. Beat him twice the same way. It's all right. Beat him twice the same way. If Canelo, really wants to fight you again after the first one, depending on how that first one go, hey, do the same thing. And what options are available for Jermell Charlo after that, should he win? I think he should fight the winner of the Andrade and David Benavidez fight. If that fight happens. If that fight happens, then fight the winner. But if that fight doesn't happen, fight one of them. That's next. Or Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, obviously, that's a major fight for him. I don't want to see him fight Danny Garcia, to be honest. I think we already know what that looks like. I'd rather see him fight Tim Tszyu. Yet again, Tim Tszyu is the Danny Garcia right now. We all know Tim Tszyu is the Danny Garcia. He ain't beating no elite fighters. He's the Danny Garcia. We knew when Danny Garcia fought Sean Porter, he was probably going to lose. We knew when Danny Garcia fought Keith Thurman, he was probably going to lose. And it's the same thing with Tim Tszyu. We know when he fights those real elite fighters, he's probably going to lose. Tony Harrison was no longer the same fighter that he was when he fought Jermell Charlo. That's just the reality. So Tim Tszyu, not trying to, knock you, but you are the Danny Garcia. And not trying to knock Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia, great fighter, but it is what it is. That's my opinion. That's all I got for right now, guys. Feel free to hit me up. Let me know if you got any other questions. Appreciate the love and support. I will be back with some more content. You already know what time it is. I got to check up out of here. Y'all be smooth. I'm out. Peace.